Hey, John Frusciante is on the album.
Yes, I consider him sort of a, an honorary member of my group, so.
And Paul is not on the album.
No, Paul and Adrian Terrazas I asked to leave, shortly after. Because it was just time for me to have a new direction and to give the band a new direction. And I realized as I was making the record that I wanted to scale the band down and that I wanted to sort of have this approach of simplicity or back to basics or something. I've stripped down if you see us tonight, our live setting, I used to have these 4 amps and 2 bass amps, and I put everything back to how it was in the beginning. I said I want 1 guitar amp, I want you to play 1 bass amp, simple. I want everything simple. I want to sort of wipe the slate clean. It's been 8 years, and I feel like I'm starting over now. I feel like it's a whole new wave of inspiration is coming. So
it's very much you, huh? The band.
Yeah, it's me and my and then my partnership with Cedric, our relationship, and our love for each other. In terms of running the band and making its decisions, it's very much me. But I think in terms of the spirit of what our band is, it's all about Cedric and I's ongoing relationship, our romance, of 20 years, so.
Hey, are there any extra special limited edition vinyls, songs, CDs, DVDs, games being issued around this album?
No.
Fans can look forward to already?
No, just the vinyl. We always do vinyl. Vinyl's super important.
Limited though?
Yeah, it's limited just because no one buys vinyl anymore. Culture, the music culture these days is like fast food culture now. People, they buy songs, iTunes. Most of the young people I know don't even know what band they're listening to. They just have it shuffled in their iPod, and they're like, "Oh, I really like this song," and blah, blah. And it's cool. It's another way of experiencing music. But I come from a different generation, So.
Hey, opening song of the album is being compared to Rush a lot. Right, so I think. Are you laughing?
I don't know. It sounds funny to me. I don't know. I don't know much about Rush. I haven't listened to many of their records, but what I have heard, I can't picture it. But I think it's cool. That's cool.
Pink Floyd as well.
I could see that without a doubt. Like I said,
you covered them, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge been a huge influence since I was very young. So that's. I think Pink Floyd and Syd Barrett's influence and sort of that's Can, and I think more krautrock like Can and Neu and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hey, you guys playing here? Of course, festival season is on. Are you playing festivals, and after that, are you coming back to tour?
Yeah, we're gonna come back and do a real tour. Luckily we're doing the festival season, but luckily we have real shows in between. Festivals are really a drag, and I think. Yeah, because they're just again, you have to understand from a player's point of view and from a technician's point of view, you don't get to do your thing properly. You know what I mean? It's like you go there and like, okay, you got 1 hour and you don't get a sound check and you don't get this and you don't get that, and you go up pretty much blind. So your technician that you brought doesn't really get to set up, and the front of house engineer doesn't really get to do his thing, and everybody's just sort of fighting against the elements. And when you're playing them, it's cool because someone can go, a fan of music can go and hear a lot of different bands. But behind the scenes, what's actually happening is you feel like you're the McDonald's of music. You know what I mean? You're just put on a conveyor belt with 30 or 40 other bands, and they're like, next, next, next. You show up to a festival a lot of the times, you can't enter your dressing room until 4. Then you play, and once you're done playing, you got an hour, and they kick you out of your dressing room so they can put someone else in, and you got to go up real quick, and you only have an hour, and you can't sound check, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't go in this area. And so you feel
it's
like
really hit and run doing a festival.
It's very, very hit and run, and it feels like it sort of defeats the purpose, but you sort of understand the bigger picture, you know what I mean? But behind the scenes, you feel like a something in a factory. You just feel like you're on a conveyor belt of band, and I hear this band, and now what about that one? Did you like this? Here's the next one, and so that's really no fun when you're not into that thing, yeah. But you have to look at the bigger picture. Again, I'm saying behind the scenes, it's no fun. But when you think of the bigger picture of like people going and being able to check out different types of music, being in their town and having, an event that they can all go to together and camping and they can enjoy themselves, then that's really why you do it, because there's a bigger idea there that's much bigger than your own personal comfort,
True. I mean, if you're at the festival for 3 days, you really get to live it. So it's a whole different story being in the public.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, before we have to go, yeah, finish the interview. The artwork, it's great.
Oh, thank you. That's Jeff Jordan. Jeff Jordan, he's an artist from Northern California he's done our last 2 records covers, and now with this one 3, and he's really great, and we have a really great collaboration with him, so we're going to continue to work with him.
Cool, really cool. Hey, thanks so much for the interview. You're probably on stage, so you have to go or eat.
Okay.
Our time is definitely up.
All right.
I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward for the new one. When's the new release coming?
I don't know. That's up to the bureaucracy and red tape of the label.
Is that really true? You don't decide it yourself?
No, it's always. I mean, again, Octahedron. I finished this early August last year. Why doesn't it come out till June 23? Politics. I don't know.
Okay.
So that's there. They decide on those things. When's the best time for it to come out? They decided the best time is when the week that Michael Jackson dies. That's the best.
Actually, what did you think about that, actually?
Oh, I mean, it was really sad, like anyone else who grew up, during my generation, and those records were really important, and you think of those records and you think of not only Michael Jackson but Quincy Jones and some of the amazing players on those records. I mean, those were dynamite records, no matter what anyone says about him or his personal life. Like those were really big things, he did. So